Hello everyone, my name is David Liu. I'm the founder of Synkro. This video I'm recording right now will be a getting started guide for all of you guys. I want you to start day one with enough knowledge of how to use the platform. Today I'll be demonstrating how each of these features work, how I use them, what use cases I think you can apply to, and some tips and tricks. If you watched the previous video with Laura, some of this overlaps with it a little bit, so I'll put timestamps in the captions if you want to skip. I'm very excited. Beta is releasing in about 3 days, and yeah, I'll get started. So the first feature we'll go through is the coaches card editor. So when I designed this, some context is I thought there's mainly two ways coaches could use this. Either you already have the routine designed and you're just entering in the routine for competition submission, or you're designing the routine as you make the coaches card, which I don't imagine many of you guys doing. So if you use the first option, then you can create coaches cards very fast through Synkro. What I like to do is I like to have the Excel file or wherever I store the routine on a split screen or on a second monitor, and I can, enter things in very fast. And I'll demonstrate how this kind of works um, but with my free team. So when I edit routines, I always use the overview menu because for longer routines, it's a lot more convenient. You can click through this. Let's start off by seeing we have an acrobatic missing, a hybrid missing, and also a transition missing at the end. So let's go fix these. For acrobatics on Synkro, you use the custom acro builder. And because I have the information on the second monitor, this is very fast. Acrobatic is group B, construction is ST, connection type is backpack. Our positions include bamboo, along with owl. Rotation is R0.5. Our bonuses include twirl and position 3. You can also save acrobatics using the software on Synkro. This could be convenient when you have, many of the same acrobatics for multiple routines. Now we're finished with the acrobatic. We'll go to the hybrids. So there's mainly two ways you can create hybrids. You can either drag or drop these movements in, which is very easy and intuitive to do. You can search the codes. You can also filter them through the families. And what I like to do, which is a little bit more efficient, is use the type codes mode. And you don't really have to be cautious about this because you can see the movement that you're entering in. So for this, we have A1C, A7, F1A, RC1, AB, A6, F4F, F6C, F1A, and RC1. There's no pattern changes, and our time range is 308 to 320. Lastly, for transitions, you can just slide them in like this, and the time range is 321 to 324. Always remember to update or save your routine by clicking this button, because if you don't, your progress will not be saved. Another thing is, oh yeah, want to load a blank routine, then this is what you do. To edit your routine information, it's up here. It's just condensed. You can add your club name, competitions, competitor names, etc. Another tip I have is when you're creating a new routine from blank, what I like to do is not just directly start in typing in all the codes. Rather, I like to kind of build the structure of the routine. So if I know there's a certain number of transitions in this routine, I'll slide them in. So let's say imagine there's like 4 transitions in this routine, and now I'll slide them all to the correct position. And after you do that, building this routine is very easy to do because as you've seen, entering in hybrids is very fast. Acrobatics is also very fast. And after you have the structure down, it's a very fast just keyboard typing. Um, Along with that, oh yeah, also you can currently export your routines into the competition format. This is an example of what the Excel file is generated like. Synkro is already integrated with integrated sports systems, but we're not yet authorized for competitions, so don't try to submit these coaches cards to competitions. I'll update you guys through the entire process, and yeah. So yeah, that's basically the first feature, and now we'll move on to the second one. This is the second feature. It's the coaches card validator. So if you swim in the USA, you probably know about this. It was created by Chris Leahy. It's like many coaches use this as their last check before submitting coaches card to their competitions because it provides very, very useful warnings. You can see using this as an example. Provides you with structural warnings like you forgot acrobatic or things about the age group that you're submitting for. These are very nice. And then there's also more niche warnings, which are things you should maybe pay attention to, which could cause base marks in this routine. And yeah, it's quite a simple feature, and we'll move on. Third feature is the score predictor, and it does exactly what it sounds like. So give a quick demonstration. You can edit the execution of the individual elements. You can base mark them, or you can set an overall execution, put it to 6.8. You can edit the artistic impression and also add sync deductions. And basically what you can see is, a prediction of what your routine will get at an actual competition. You can see the breakdowns between elements and artistic impression, which elements give you the most scores. It's very interesting and also quite informative to see. But what makes this feature even more useful is the next feature, which is the comparison tool, which I'll move on to. This is the comparison tool. So some context behind this. When I was swimming, one of the major problems I encountered was trying to find the balance between difficulty and execution. Optimally in many of your routines, you would have it the highest difficulty possible while executing at a very high level, but that's definitely easier said than done. So this feature, as I'll demonstrate, is kind of created to combat that problem. So you can load two versions of the same routines, and this is just a very basic demonstration. So for example, if I'm thinking of removing this A8, and since I removed that A8, this hybrid's execution can go up to 8.0. I want to see if this, removing this movement but having a higher execution gives a, benefit to our score compared to the normal version of this routine. So I'll go down, click calculate predict, and as we can see in the breakdown, no, it doesn't. We're getting 2 points less, which means it's not worth it removing the A8. And I'm only changing a single variable with this example. You can remove multiple movements from multiple multiple hybrids, or even add movements like this. And because of that, you can edit the executions. You can even edit the artistic impressions and the sync deductions. And it can get as complicated as you want it to be. And this can help you make, very educated decisions about changing the difficulty of your routine. And yeah, that's basically the comparison tool, and we'll move on. Last feature is the code review, and this is also quite simple like the validator. So let's click a routine, and what you can basically do is expand between the code in the description of the actual routine. So basically what you can check is what you're declaring in the routine is actually what your swimmers are doing. And this is already quite helpful on its own, but recently I added an export feature, which several coaches have requested me to do. What you can basically do is get a PDF version of the code review tool, and you basically get a PDF that shows you breakdown of your entire routine with the code and the movement descriptions. And this is very useful to have on hand. Whenever you're not sure if what your swimmers are actually doing is the correct version of your routine, or you forgot some movements in your routine, you can just check this PDF and make sure that what your swimmers are doing is actually correct. And yeah, that's the code review. Lastly, I'll be discussing some important remarks about beta. If you have watched the video this far, I'm very thankful. So now I'll talk about some important things. So I'm releasing beta on April 29th during noon, and what I'll do is I'll approve all of your accounts. You'll receive a confirmation email, and then after you get that, you'll be able to log in and use all the features I just demonstrated. Along with that, something that's very important is do not try to submit these coaches cards to competitions. I'm currently working with USAS to get it authorized. It's a rigorous process. I'll keep you guys updated. Third, this is also beta, so I'll appreciate any feedback you have. Please email me or message me on Instagram. I'll be sending a Google form in the next few weeks, and yeah, I really appreciate you if you fill that out for me. And yeah, I'm very thankful for the support this software has gotten. 130 coaches from 25 plus countries. Very very thankful, and I'm very excited to see what all of you guys do with the software. And if you have any advice or features you want me to add, please email me. And yeah, thank you.